This is Blazing SS4 and welcome to Gold vs. Silver, where I am going to be playing both Pokemon Gold and Silver. They're two separate games for those of you who don't know, and basically for the Silver playthrough it'll be your typical run-of-the-mill playthrough, and the Gold playthrough will be a solo playthrough where I go through the whole game with only one single Pokemon, except for when I need to, say, use HMs. You know, I'll have other Pokemon for that, but primarily I'll be battling that one Pokemon. So, anyway, I'm doing this to commemorate the releases of the second gen games, minus Pokemon Crystal, which is what I was actually looking forward to, on the Virtual Console for the 3DS. So I figured, you know what, I'm just gonna play these games because I love them, because the second gen games are actually my favorite games, followed by fourth, and then first. Well, seventh now, and then first. But I digress. Let's not talk about opinions. So anyway, as I said, this is Pokemon Silver, as you can tell by the, really because of the fact that my character's name is Silver. I decided to do that in Pokemon Silver, while in Gold my character's name is Gold, like his original name is anyway, excuse me. So anyway, Professor Elm asks us to go and do some shizzle for him, and I'm gonna take a Pokemon, because I can't really go through the fucking grass without any protection. Oh, by the way, also, a majority of this video is actually gonna be gameplay from Pokemon Silver. I should have mentioned that before. It's mostly because I didn't want to actually play, partially because I didn't want to have them playing side by side, and especially because one would be going at a different pace than the other. I just didn't want to do that, so I'm basically taking parts from, like, one game, and then, you know, kind of taking little bits and pieces from parts of the other game. That's basically how it's going to be, but it's just that, this episode is mostly focused on Silver. But we will see some Gold toward the end. Not as much of it, though, because it's more, it's further ahead than the Silver playthrough. So, anyway, I decided I'm going to, for starters, I was totally shocked that my Cyndaquil was a female, because, okay, my first second-gen game was Pokemon Silver, and I chose Cyndaquil, and the Cyndaquil I had gotten was a female as well. And I missed my copy of Silver. I mean, my Pokemon were all at level 100, and then, a friend had my game, and then he put it down, and he left it there, and then somebody snatched it. Nah, that made me so sad, because I had a Tyranitar and a Dragonite, all that good stuff up there. I was legitimately sad. But then later I got Pokemon Gold and Crystal for Christmas, as well as Game Boy Advance, so that made up for it. That was a dirt detour right there. I thought there was an item, like, right there past the gate there, but there isn't. So anyway, so Pokemon battles are run a little differently in this game. In these games, you know, you got, like, a brand new stat called a Special Defense. Well, technically, two new stats, because it's basically one stat that's been split in half. So that way, you won't have the same crazy Gen 1 shenanigans with the special stat. So you got Special Attack and Special Defense. You know, they clash, because, you know, one's telling you how strong one is with special attacks, while the other is, like, how strong something is against special attack. So, you know, I'm sorry, I am just rambling on. And I am also feeling amazingly, well, amazing right now. That is redundant, and I don't give a shit. So anyway, I talked to this old dude because, he would give you the map card, if you do. It's not, it isn't exactly mandatory, but I still like doing it anyway, because I really like this little detour that he takes you, and it's just, I don't know, it kind of makes it feel like, I guess with that and the colors, because this was a Game Boy Color game, which of course could still be played on a regular Game Boy, but I guess it made it feel like it had more atmosphere to it, and mind you, I was 11 years old at the time, and even I felt like, man, oh man, it really does feel like I am just going through a whole new world, and this old dude is just taking me there, taking me through it, excuse me, and it just felt so different compared to like the few guides you would get in the first-gen games. Nonetheless, though, one other thing I did right there was I took advantage of of a new mechanic for these games, where you can make your Pokemon hold items, and if they're natural items, they can use them automatically. You know what? Why did I keep this in? You know what? That was in. So I don't give a shit. I'm gonna try and keep the random encounters to a minimum. You know, this is post commentary, so yeah. So it's not gonna be anything. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. That's just, it's post commentary. I did a lot of editing. So anyway, what I did there was obviously more brilliant editing. I edited out the whole scene with Professor Oak and Mr. Pokemon, because it was just a lot of dialogue, and I didn't really want to have all that dialogue. Even when sped up, it would have just been like a really nasty mess. So that's the case there. Oh shit, you know what, I should have also mentioned there's no music. Well, let me phrase that. There will be some music that I put in, but it's not the actual in-game music, mostly because, while I was recording this, the sound got pretty distinct, and I didn't really know how to, I mean, I tried, but nothing worked, so I have to, you know, that's why the sound is what it is right now, but I'll put in the appropriate music when I see fit. Anyway, a battle against a rival, because of the fact that, with the rival who originally was just a random person just peeping outside of, peeping into the laboratory, yeah, so he winds up snatching a Pokemon that your Pokemon is weak against. You wouldn't have to worry, obviously, because the early gen games, you know, your starter Pokemon only had 2 attacks. It's not like how in these later games where they have 3 attacks, one of them being their elemental attack. But anyway, yeah, this matchup can be pretty painful. Well, mostly because, again, you have Cyndaquil, and, well, I should say, for starters, make sure at least your Pokemon's at level 6. Especially if you're running like a Cyndaquil, because it'll learn Smokescreen, and then you can just use that and abuse it, because your rival will only have his level 5 Pokemon. That is, of course, still has a type advantage, but can't really utilize that because it doesn't have any elemental moves. So, whatever though, but that's basically what this battle is all about. I'm just going to lower his accuracy, so those scratches don't hit me, because Totodile has more attack power than Cyndaquil, so its scratch is going to hurt a lot more than my tackle. But, yeah, combined with the fact that it does Leer, it uses Leer to drop your defense, is not, you know, is really not a good thing. Oh yeah, also Totodile has a bit more bulk than Cyndaquil too. So, basically, the battle's gonna wrap up in just a minute. Let's see, let's talk more about, well, basically what's going on, obviously. You probably have seen from the dialogue like a minute and a half ago from Professor Elm when he called and he was like, oh, it's terrible, oh no, blah blah blah. This little douche nozzle was basically hanging around his lab and decided to bust in and steal one of the starter Pokemon, and he stole a starter that's strong against yours, so yeah, but again, you don't really have to worry too much about that stuff because yeah, no elemental attacks, can't really take advantage of the whole, you know, type advantage thing. So anyway, I'm gonna name him Gold here in Pokemon Silver, while in Pokemon Gold, he will be named Silver, as is his original name anyway, because, you know, in the manga, and just in Japan, really, he's called Silver. But, I digress. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying right now. I am feeling amazing right now. But anyway, shit. But anyway, you know, you confronted him, you battle him, you can either win or lose. And if you lose, obviously you'll lose half your money, which I did something stupid and totally forgot to buy as many potions as I could possibly could, because you start out with 3,000 yen, so you can buy 10 potions. That's good. That way, even if you did lose, you won't even lose any money. So anyway, all that said and done, we did the errand for Professor Elm, go back, talk to good old Mammy, you know, let her know that, hey, I'm gonna go and do more things and just be the professor's, like, temporary errand boy. So, yeah, save my money. Just shut up and take my money. And that's it for the silver part. Let's move on over to gold. Alright, so as I said earlier, I am further ahead in Pokemon Gold because I'm using a single Pokemon. So what is this single Pokemon, you're probably wondering? Well, you'll see here as we're fighting youngster Joey and his top percentage Rattata, which it really is a top percentage Rattata. So yeah, anyway, good lord, things flying around in my face, Lord have mercy. I hate the fall. The fall is like when gnats and stuff start like getting really bad out here in the country. So anyway, my Pokemon of choice is Sentret, mostly because Sentret's not even all that weak. I mean, not all that strong. So I didn't want to use anything too strong, but then again, basically everything you meet on these routes aren't really anything that strong. I mean, they're strong in their own regards, but you know, still not strong. You get what I'm saying. Pidgey, Rattata, blah blah blah. Not all that great. Anyway, but that's enough of that rambling. God damn it. Except it flew right in my mouth too. God, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes I hate living in the country, but hey, I live in the country. There's nothing I can fucking do about that, unfortunately. I'm sorry for that coarse language. But yeah, okay, so here in Pokemon Gold, my starter Pokemon happened to have been a Totodile. Mostly because I wanted to at least make his, I wanted him, the rival, I mean, to take Chikorita, because Chikorita has more defense, is the more defensive out of the starters in this game. So, I didn't want, you know, I wanted him to at least be somewhat of a challenge, so, yeah, when that thing becomes fully evolved. But anyway, I'm further up the route, and I'm just going to stop at the point where I get into Violet City. You know, next episode we're going to be dealing with some crazy stuff in Violet City. But in the meantime, I just wanted to show you that about Sybil, the Sentret here. Alright, so Sybil, it's obviously a female, which, you know, is which is a new mechanic in these games. You know, they introduced the gender mechanic, and that's really amazing, I say. I think I already mentioned that earlier with the female Cyndaquil. Anyway, Lord of Mercy, I don't even remember my words too well. Anyway, I caught this little lady after I battled the rival, who is silver in this game, but gold in the other game. Because, you know, that's, you know, I'm fucking around with the names, okay? I'm doing it on purpose just to confuse you guys. I'm just actually hoping you guys actually keep up, or maybe you guys could dumbfound me, but, you know, it doesn't even matter, though. But, yeah, Wade here is actually a pretty cool dude. For me, I remember when during my first playthrough with Silver, when I didn't know anything about this really cool thing that they have in this game called the bug catching contest, where you basically, it's what it is. You're going out and you're trying to catch bug type Pokemon, and basically you get rewarded for if your bug is the best. Which still don't know exactly how they do it. It's probably got something to do with IVs and whatnot. I don't know. Never really actually explained that stuff back in, you know, in game. And even if it did, I was 11 years old, so I don't think I would have understood all that stuff. Especially since I didn't know all that stuff until Gen 4. Anyway, but yeah, he would call and tell you, oh, are you going to the bug catching contest? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, huh, bug catching contest. And, I did a bug catching contest, like I said. It's pretty cool. You guys should try it. But anyway, this episode's gonna wrap up, and I will catch you lovely folks next time. Thank you all for watching.